The Chinese government has faced public scrutiny more times than we can count. They have been involved in numerous scandals, cover-ups, and other shady means of business. The country has recently been called into question regarding its questionable medical practices that could potentially involve covering up the wrongful deaths of many prisoners. But the story doesn't end there, because several of China's most frightening secrets have been hidden from us for decades. But before we jump into the video, don't forget to hit the like button and ring the notification bell, or you will be kidnapped by a herd of flying monkeys at midnight. Number 10. Poverty has been one of the biggest issues in China for many decades. Many of us in the Western world believe that we have it rough when we have to live on an income that places us within the national poverty level. However, over 100 million people are living in China who are starving to death daily because they have no way to eat or provide for their family. Some reports indicate that up to 8% of the country's entire population lives on less than $1 per day. The most common household size in China is 3, typically consisting of a husband, wife, and a young child. A budget of $1 per day means that each of these people must be able to eat and remain clothed for just 33 cents per day. In your mind, take a moment to contemplate what that exactly means. What could you possibly eat for 33 cents that would hold you over for 24 hours? It's unlikely that you could even find a bag of chips for less than $1 in a modern supermarket. Vending machines will rarely even sell you a few pieces of gum for less than 50 cents. This is the harsh reality that many Chinese citizens are required to live in, as the country simply does not have enough jobs to sustain its population, which totals around 1.4 billion people. Americans are lucky enough to have welfare plans put in place that will help pay for food for families that are struggling. In most large towns, there is a soup kitchen found on nearly every block. In China, the government offers little to no assistance for those that are poverty-stricken, and most citizens simply do not eat every day because they cannot afford to. Number 9. For thousands of years, China has been regarded as one of the most brutal nations in the world. Their military has proven to be relentless towards its enemies and has been run by some of the world's most elite soldiers for thousands of years. However, this mindset has also translated to many other areas of the country, with China having some of the strictest laws that you could imagine for its prisoners. Some of the harsh punishments that these individuals face include the possibility of facing capital punishment or losing your life because of your crimes. Most areas of the United States, Europe, and Canada have banned capital punishment, as it seems to be unusually cruel. But China and many other countries across the globe are still in support of this behavior and practice it daily. China has a law that is located under Article 252 that allows law enforcement officials to take the life of a citizen who has broken the law, so long as the person is executed by shooting or injection. Because of this law, China has been found to have claimed the lives of millions of people, and citizens face capital punishment 4 times more often than any other country in the world. This is a number that is so unbelievably large that many of us are likely unable to even fathom it. In 2002 alone, estimates suggest that China claimed the lives of at least 12,000 people. In many parts of the world, this would mean that entire cities were simply wiped off the face of the map without a second glance. Number 8. One of China's most recognizable accomplishments is the Great Wall of China. The wall spans many miles and can be seen from the International Space Station. However, this isn't China's only claim to fame. The country is also known for its rapid production of pollution that endangers our entire planet. Due to the country's massive amounts of factories and automobiles, China is known for being one of the largest threats to our ecosystem due to the incredible amount of toxic gases that are being released into the atmosphere. However, this doesn't only pose serious threats for China and its residents, as China's pollution is known to be creeping toward the United States and has already begun to have detrimental effects on certain areas of California. Due to jet streams that pass through the area, China's pollution has caused health concerns for residents of San Francisco and other northern cities of California, prompting the creation of many new laws concerning the acceptable levels of smog in the atmosphere. China has single-handedly managed to pose itself as the greatest threat to our planet and is held responsible for being one of the lead causes of global warming in recent years. Number 7. This topic is likely going to be a bit difficult to cover as it involves religion. In America and most other modernized countries in the world, freedom of religion is considered to be a basic human right. For the most part, people are allowed to worship whoever or whatever they want without fear of being persecuted by the government. This is technically true in China as well. However, the country has placed extremely strict regulations on many religious organizations, specifically in the world of Buddhism. Buddhism is one of the main religions in China and is practiced by hundreds of millions of people. The Dalai Lama, a key figure in Buddhist culture, has concerned the Chinese government for many years as they fear that the influence the religion has over its citizens could become a threat to the citizens' compliance with their national leaders. Because of this, the Chinese government has taken strides towards preventing how Buddhist followers can practice their religion. They have gone as far as passing laws that prohibit Buddhist monks from being reincarnated. Yes, you heard that correctly. The country has banned Buddhist monks from being reincarnated in the afterlife. So not only does China expect its citizens to abide by national laws in the physical world, but they also expect them to follow the country's orders after they have died and moved on.
No way!
Yes way.
China's leaders say that this law was passed as they feared as though the Dalai Lama had too much power over the country's workers, so they needed to implement stricter regulations to prevent the religion from getting out of hand. Number 6. Censorship in China has become a pretty big deal. We have known for years that Chinese ISPs have been forced to block certain websites from being accessed by citizens, as they fear that the information on the websites may be detrimental to the country. It has been suggested that the true reasoning behind this is because they fear that citizens may begin to contact those on the outside world and a revolution may be in order. Because of this, over 3,000 websites have been blocked, leaving Chinese citizens in the dark about much of what is taking place in any other part of the world. Websites like Google and YouTube have been heavily censored or blocked completely. The local government is keeping a tight grip on its citizens to ensure that all of the information they receive is heavily regulated, so that citizens don't get any strange ideas, such as wanting fair pay, freedom of expression, or other basic human rights. Number 5. Most of us were taught about cavemen when we were children. We were typically told that cavemen were some of the earliest forms of humans and that we have evolved from them after years of adapting and natural selection. However, some reports estimated that up to 35 million cavemen and women still exist in China, though not in the way you may expect. The soil in China is known for being particularly dense yet porous. This makes it perfect for the formation of caves. This has led many Chinese citizens to live an off-the-grid type lifestyle, and rather than building homes, they dig cave systems and live in those. Most of these cave dwellers are in the Shanxi province. Number 4. Having clean drinking water is merely a dream for many people across the world, including those who live in China. The country has a serious issue with its drainage and sewer systems, meaning that water commonly backs up and finds its way into drinking water sources. The country is known to have been living with this issue for many years, and thousands of people have become ill due to water contamination. Number 3. This entry is rather short and concise, as most of it is rather self-explanatory. Due to China consistently destroying our atmosphere and poisoning its citizens with its unacceptable levels of smog, birth defects have been sharply increasing in China and other nearby parts of the world. The toxic chemicals in the air cause many pregnant mothers to develop children with lifelong medical conditions, simply because the country has no access to clean air. Number 2. Contrary to what you may expect, China has seen a recent rise in the number of Christian believers. Some reports indicate that China has now more Christians than Italy and other parts of Europe. In addition to this, China now has more citizens who regularly attend church than any other part of the world, including America. Number 1. To end things on a positive note, sort of, we have to mention the fact that China has seen a massive increase in tourism recently. They have recently opened the World Eco Garden of Butterflies that has attracted thousands of people to the country. Though in addition to this, they have also opened a theme park designed around little people. Though locals refer to the park as the Dwarf Empire, even though that is a wildly insensitive phrase to use in America, the Dwarf Empire is also widely referred to as the Kingdom of the Little People and is designed around the lives of little people. The park is filled with tiny houses, tiny seating areas, and many other everyday items required by little people. This may seem very derogatory and insensitive to the more civilized people around the world, but at least the little people of China know that they have a place where they can belong and contribute to society in a meaningful way.